Hi, I'm about to show you an alternate method of assembly of the video. I'm going to show you a very quick summary. The other videos have all the details for the different components. This is just another method because it might be easier with the custom height floor beds. So I'm just going to kind of run through this thing really quickly, and then if you have any questions on specific items, the other videos will show the details for different parts, like attaching the bolts and such. So basically, you just lay out your bed, all your parts, just like here, I have right here. So then you go ahead, when you get the bed, all these will have the dowels already in place. I went ahead and did that, it makes it a little easier. So the chart shows what corners are which what and side. So this would be C, D, A, B, and then this would be, that's S1, S2, S3, S4. So right now I have a C over here. So I'll just go ahead and slide this in position. And that's what the dead blow hammer's for. Just light taps into position. Then you go, basically you just do all four corners of the bed. I would think this method is considerably quicker than the other method. The other method, I would say, would take you about 45 minutes. This one should be quite a bit less. Okay, and now at this point, you kind of leave everything a little bit loose right now as it is. You could probably, at this point is when you would, before we put the corners in, you would want to put your threads into the bolts underneath. You know, I'm just showing you the order of assembly, but these here should be bolted right now while you're able to reach in without the railings here, or if you want to just come around the inside and do it whenever, that would be fine. So now, also, let me remind you that you need to make sure you put your threaded rods into your posts prior to installing the frame together, because you need to have this all bolted before these ledger boards go in. This here is the way this will come to you, and the hinges will already be assembled. It will be easier probably to assemble the full gate on before you stand this up, but it can be done either way. There's two 1/2-inch dowels that match in here. When this slides in, there is a okay, and there's a long bolt that comes up from underneath here, and it goes in to a round like nut up inside of here, and it pulls this thing tight and makes this a very strong corner. So now you have all your corners up. I'm going to show you how the structure will go in, which is for your slats. And that's what I'm going to put in next. I'm going to do that because I have no rails up top and I have no spindles in the way. So you have your ledger boards, and they're marked on the side of these bands. And I got here ledger 1 is right here. It tells you which direction it goes up. I got ledger 2 over here, and it's all been pre-drilled. And if you follow the markings here, and then I got some hash marks to line up, and the screws will find its original hole, and then you can tighten them down. And then you have the other two ledges over here, 3 and 4. Okay, so you screw in your first two, 1, 2. Then what you want to do is you want to take this long piece, and this is labeled Y on that side, and you'll see a Y here, and then an X on this side, and an X on this side. So now you'd slip this thing in, and that's your spreader and your center beam. And that will be pocket screwed. And they're also pre-drilled, and it's all marked where they'll go. So you put your pocket screws into that. Then you could finish screwing, after you do that, you can finish screwing this other ledger on both sides. Now, because it's the full-size bed, you'd want a center beam, and that's what these here are. And this one here says center beam left, and it goes in with pocket screws. I have these 1/4 inch blocks on that whole side, and what that is that will line up this center beam perfectly, and now everything will line up. And then when you come in with this center beam, you just push it to the blocks and you drive in your pocket screws. So now that's your structure. When the time comes and you want to raise the bed, I'm just going to do this real quick. These feet here, they're marked on it, and for instance, this one is D, and this one here is A, okay? So you put your 1/2 inch dowels in there, and they just slip right up underneath there, and there's 1/2 inch holes, and they'll line up, and it all locks in. So you do that for all 4 corners, and that will raise the bed up. And then you'll get this 5th block right here. And that block here will go directly underneath the bed, underneath that center point. And that's where it all intersects. And so so everything here, when you use this will all be perfect in height, and so it'll work out well, be really strong. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and I'll show you on the railings. So I'm going to show you on this railing here, and I would recommend having 2 people. Okay, now what you do now is I'm going to have the spindles bundled up in groups for each section and have it written on, but they're all interchangeable, all except the gate is the only ones that are different size. So anyhow, the original video shows you laying the pieces down and putting each section up. Well, now this time you're going to take the spindles and you're just going to put them in like this now. And you can go down the line. Okay, now you take your upper rail. Now it will be best if you can do it with 2 people. I mean, I'm going to show you how I'm doing it with 1 person, but 2 people it would be a little easier. So you have these dowels that are sticking out here. So you go ahead and line, you're not really pushing it in, you're just lining it in. So you just kind of get it in a little bit. And then you kind of get this first dowel in the upper hole. Then you could slide this one over, and then that next dowel goes in. They have to be done one at a time. And it will go down like maybe 1/8 of an inch or a 1/4 inch each time. And you just feed it down the whole length. Okay. Okay, if you just did this around the whole bed, it could be done that way, and it will probably be faster than each section for the extra tall beds.